What's up, everybody? And welcome once again to Tail of the Tape, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment, a show about combat sports by guys who love combat sports. And it's your boy, as always, Craig.
And your boy, Mike.
And we're here for another week. We're going to jump right into it. This week, we don't have an event to give to you because the event is actually this weekend, and we discussed it last week. So, yeah. Oops. But we make sure we always have something to discuss on all of our shows. So today, we have a great show prepared for you. And do we need to stop? Oh, crap.
No, we're good.
Oh.
I think
we're good?
I think.
So we're going to jump into the news, and Mike has some updates.
First and foremost, I want to talk about Lynn's own Kyrie Todd, boxer, pro boxer.
Yes.
Believe he's 9-1, I've seen. I'm not really sure, don't quote me. But he had a fight this past weekend for Murphy's Boxing promotion.
Over at Encore?
The Encore
Nice.
Casino. Came away with a first round stoppage with the left hand to the liver. Body punch just crumbled his opponent. And
That's impressive. When you end a dude with a body punch.
that's like the only fight we're covering this week. And he definitely got technique of the week.
Okay.
So, hats off to Kyrie Todd, and hopefully, he keeps winning. Gets
For real.
a big contract
Salute, bro.
With Showtime or something, and keeps making moves. But Lynn's own from the Highlands,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Pretty awesome, man. Best of luck to future fights. Can't wait to see the next one.
Some UFC news. Darren Till is gonna go up in a weight class, coming back to fight Kelvin Gastelum.
Kelvin Gastelum. I saw that.
Right off the bat, give him a taste of 185. That's interesting. I didn't see a date on that, but Dana White confirmed it.
Yeah.
That they're both signing contracts.
Talk about throwing a man into the deep end as soon as he enters the division.
He was a big welterweight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, even still though, not even a soft warm up,
Yeah.
Like you're going right you're putting him right in the lion's den. But I like it. Darren Till is no slouch.
Yeah, some people are saying, after the big knockout loss to who was it that he faced?
It was
Masvidal or Pettis? I can't remember.
It was Masvidal.
Yeah.
It was Masvidal. Or was it? No, it was Masvidal.
Their fights are running together.
Yeah, they are.
Last knockouts.
Yeah, because Masvidal beat Till, then he beat Wonder Boy, and
So
The
some
flying
people
knee.
think he doesn't deserve Gastelum, but Gastelum coming off the loss to Adesanya, so I think it's a good matchup. I like it.
I love the matchup. Like I said, I love the matchup, and Till is no slouch. So to get a guy like Kelvin Gastelum just shows the ability that the UFC believes he has at that weight class.
Even though the bad stoppage that he got, he got knocked out pretty bad.
He did get knocked, but guys get caught all the time. It doesn't make them less of a fighter. Jose Aldo got caught early. That doesn't take away from his ability.
Yeah, you don't lose stock because you got stopped by somebody who is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's training to do. And when you're facing another great fighter, it's one or the other. Somebody's gonna lose. But next up, we got Anthony Rumble Johnson, fan favorite.
Yes, love Anthony.
Artist. He's talking about coming back in 2020 in the heavyweight division. So, he definitely always seemed real lean at 205.
Yes.
He was huge. So maybe be a small heavyweight, 230 or so. Maybe he's put on some muscle in, his time away from the sport. Maybe he's been hitting the weights hard.
Yeah. To be honest with you, all that doesn't even matter to me. I just want to see Rumble return.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think he's young enough to still come in and get a few years of fighting underneath him. I knew that he was going to miss it when he left. So I'm really excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see who his first, if he does return, I'd be excited to see who his first matchup is.
Yeah, I never seen him fight at heavyweight. So
No.
make him climb the ladder. We got a lot of exciting young guys,
Yeah, I think you got to give him an exciting name for his first fight. You know, to be honest with you, a guy I'd like to see him face that I think he would fare very well against is Alistair Overeem. You know, and I say this because I love seeing Alistair Overeem get knocked out.
I'm not sure Anthony Johnson's age now. I didn't look that up. I'm curious to.
I'm gonna look it up right now while we're talking.
I don't think he retired too young. I mean, too old, honestly.
No, he was in his late 20s.
I think it was kind of a shock.
Yeah.
When he did retire, you know, we were a little confused.
Yeah, cause he's 35.
35. I mean, he still could have a good solid 5 years in him.
I mean, Daniel Cormier is almost 40, or he is 40.
He's 42, I think.
Oh, wow.
You know?
And he's one of the best in the division.
Yeah, and he still doesn't know yet whether he's going to retire. I don't think he personally is, but
No, he's got at least 1 or 2 more left in him.
talk about that when he says something. Another kind of comical piece of news: BJ Penn.
He got knocked the half out.
I don't know what was going through his mind. He's still under UFC contract. He's got a fight coming up in a couple months against Nick Lentz, I think, trying to get one. He's on a 7-fight losing streak.
Wow.
First of all.
Wow.
And I think he's trying to, go out with at least one win. So they got him scheduled for a fight.
But
Nick Lentz.
I think this Nick Lentz is good.
Yeah, and I think BJ Penn's probably going to go out on a loss again. But he got a loss here in the bar fight. If you want to look it up on TMZ.com, because it was comical. He pulled the normal BJ Penn. You see him wrestling with a guy a little bit. The guy was pretty big too, and you could see they're both drunk. And, he slaps his own face like, come on, give me one. And the dude gave him a left hook that put him down pretty good.
Oh, man.
Put him right out. And, it goes down on the street and hits his head on the street.
That's just sad.
I don't know, he's 40 years old being a fool. It was in Hawaii at a bar called the Lava Club or something like that. Like, nah.
I have this weird feeling that BJ Penn didn't make smart money decisions while he was fighting.
That could be the reason.
And that he's fighting for paychecks.
Yeah.
And Dana White's like, we owe you a lot for what you did in the division.
That could be.
I don't know. It's just sad to see him fight because he gets dominated.
I was such a fan of his.
Me too.
At his height. And, I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head.
I mean, at one point, he was one of the best to ever do it. And I mean, I think there was a time where he was actually the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
And now, to let yourself 7 losses in a row.
Yeah, I mean, he was the first guy.
Technically 8, if you count the knockout.
Held, belts at different weight classes, not at the same time, but he had won the welterweight and then went back down and won the 155 belt. Like, he was all over the place and beating everybody. But I don't know, he just loves to fight, that Hawaiian spirit.
Yeah, that could be it as well. He could just not know what to do himself.
And, doing crazy stuff. Then on the flip side, we got Conor McGregor being young and rich.
And knocking out old people?
Yeah, like we said, BJ might be old and broke, but Conor's young and rich and does whatever he wants. And I don't know, some people want to call it a push in the face, but that looks like a left hand to me.
As far as I know, he threw a punch and landed it.
Yeah, the old man, just kind of sat there afterwards. You can't tell what the old man was saying to him, but in no way, shape, or form should he be hitting that gentleman for any reason.
And in true Dana White fashion, Dana White was like, oh, he could have hit him harder.
Right.
He didn't get... It's like, it doesn't matter if he gave him a love tap.
Right.
Like, this is an old man. Conor McGregor is a professional fighter. Be an adult.
You have to look at what would happen if it was, a different fighter. What would happen if you had footage of Khabib doing that to a guy in the bar? I think things would be a bit different from the media,
Big time.
And
Big time.
Definitely, even from Dana White, just saying that it's a bad decision, like, I don't know. I think, you should... He's using his ability that he's supposed to use in the octagon to hurt somebody on the street. Because dude didn't want his liquor. I think that, a punishment kind of, I don't know.
Well, the UFC can't punish him. He's technically retired.
he technically isn't on the roster, but there's so much talk of him coming back for this fight or that fight, and Dana, it doesn't seem like that would hurt his chances.
No, it's definitely not. He brings in way too much money. They're gonna, and one, it didn't happen in America,
Right.
and the UFC is an American promotion, so they have that going for them. Two, Conor McGregor's fights bring in way too much money. To be honest with you, I think the retirement was just a publicity ploy, so he could train,
Probably.
figure out his next fight, and then it's a big deal that he's coming back.
Absolutely, it'll be huge pay-per-view buys, and any contract that he works out from here, he's a master negotiator.
Yeah.
He'll get every cent he can, and I don't know. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he should be prosecuted," and I don't know. It's just it's a little thing.
Yeah,
Him and
a lot of
Vince
people
McMahon,
hit somebody in the face and
They
don't
got
get
over it.
Yeah,
Well,
I get it.
I'm
He's
sure he
Conor McGregor.
apologized to him, but yeah,
I'm sure he did not.
well, maybe. He might have been forced to.
Yeah, maybe he might have been forced to give one, but not a genuine
Oh, don't
apology.
get me wrong. He's a garbage human being.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
I love Conor the fighter, but he is
fighter,
absolutely a garbage
you
human
can't
being.
deny his talent, but the way he treats people is obviously terrible. The throwing the trolley at the two-wheeler at the bus incident. Michael Chiesa with the
Yeah.
getting injured had to pull
Had to pull out a fight. Yeah,
I mean,
cost them money.
Thug Rose is sitting in the front seat, could have been smashed to bits by that. It's crazy.
Said her boyfriend was gonna beat his ass.
No regard for anybody's safety or nothing. He
Nothing.
don't care about nothing. And
You know what?
millions and millions of dollars paired with that is not a great.
I'm surprised he doesn't have his own reality series by now.
Crazy.
It's probably in the works. What else do we got?
Well, a little ONE FC news. The Hero Series kicked off last week. A bunch of fights in China. I didn't
Okay.
really check them out. If you want to check them out, go to the ONE FC app. They got another event coming in September, and then 2 more events coming scheduled next year, March and May. Next week, though, there's going to be a big fight next Friday. Big card, belts on the line. Immortal Triumph.
Immortal
ONE FC.
Triumph.
Gotta love that.
Hell
the
yeah.
names they always come up with. It's going to be in Ho Chi Minh City, China, September 6th. And we can do some coverage of it next week. I'll check out the matchups and
Yeah.
tell you who's fighting.
Sounds great.
But yeah, besides that, that's kind of it for the news.
All right, so very recently, I don't think it was UFC. I believe it was like some other fan page released a list of the top 15 pound for pound fighters. And when we saw this list, as true and avid fans, we had to shake our heads no.
Yeah.
We gave it the X. This list was not accurate.
It's not completely terrible.
Yeah,
It's not.
It's filled with it has some inaccuracies. It has some misplaced positions, and I think this had a lot to do with fan favorites over actual accolades.
Yeah.
So Mike here is gonna go over the original list.
Which I do believe is from the UFC, the website that I read it from.
So it's from the UFC website.
The official pound for pound rankings.
So we now know it's absolutely 100% based on popularity and not based on the actual truth of the matter. So we're going to give you this pound for pound list. We're going to give you our pound for pound separate list, and then we are going to connect our dots.
Yes.
So please, if you will, the original list.
I think no surprise for anybody. John Jones at number 1.
And we agree.
Yes. Khabib ranked number 2. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the lightweight champion. And I don't agree.
Yes.
They have Henry Cejudo, the doubleweight champ, bantamweight and flyweight at number 3.
Isn't too off.
Right. Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight champ at number 4. Amanda Nunes, doubleweight champ, featherweight and bantamweight women's champ at number 5. Max Holloway at number 6. Daniel Cormier at number 7. Dustin Poirier at number 8. Kamaru Usman at number 9. Tony Ferguson at number 10. Robert Whittaker at 11. Valentina Shevchenko at number 12. Conor McGregor at 13, which I thought he wasn't even active. Tyron Woodley at number 14. And rounding it out with Jessica Andrade at number 15.
So that's an interesting list. Like I said, we don't believe that this list is completely off. I think that they got at least 10 of the people who are supposed to be on the list.
Right. At least up until, number 10 or 12. I don't care really how they place them because, like you said, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
What is really their criteria for a pound-for-pound overall ranking?
Yeah.
And how do you separate when you have so many weight classes? Who somebody's got to be 3 or 4 or 5.
Exactly.
It's a pretty tough thing.
And I think after John Jones, I think when you're talking about I'd say at least the top 5, if not the top 10, there's a lot of wiggle room. There's a lot of reasonings to switch these guys around. There's arguments for every single fighter to be at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But for us, we have our reasons, and we'd like to share them with you. I think I'll start first.
Absolutely.
So, like we said, it's no surprise. John Jones, the light heavyweight champ, with a 25-1 with 1 no contest. And I just like to always make this clear. The one loss on John Jones' record, if you're not familiar, was a disqualification for an illegal elbow to the back of the head. So, and this was a fight that John Jones was absolutely dominating. So his record should actually be 27-0, but he has one disqualification and 1 no contest because he failed a drug test for a substance that did not give him an advantage in the fight. So technically, I like to say John Jones is 27-0, but the actual record is 25-1 with 1 no contest. For me, number 2, I had to go with my boy, one of my favorite fighters, Max Blessed Holloway. He is the featherweight champ with a record of 21-4, and the way he tore through the featherweight division was incredible. I loved what he did. I loved what he did in this division. He also dominated the most dominant champ that the featherweight division had ever seen. Twice. Yes. In order to get the belt, he stopped a man who had never been stopped before in Anthony Showtime Pettis, and he has defended his belt time and time again. And also, I'd like to just honorable mention for him is the fact that the fight against Dustin Poirier was remarkable. Like his ability to take damage and keep pressing forward. I didn't think he should. I thought he should have backed off and picked his shots to win that fight. But at the end of the day, he stood toe to toe with a dude who was just putting it to him. Next on the list for me, I had to go with Khabib, the lightweight champ, 27-0. Now, some people, including us, will say, well, his competition, next to Conor McGregor, his competition has been pretty light.
Right.
I mean, before Conor McGregor, the best fighter he had taken down was Michael Johnson.
Yes.
And not this Michael Johnson. I think he might have fared better.
I think he probably would have sat on me the same.
Yeah. So
I might have caught him with something on the feet, though.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe might have hit the chin at least once.
Maybe.
But I have to give it to him.
Johnson kind of did okay.
He did do okay. He almost finished him. He rushed. But Khabib, I will give him this. He is a dominating presence. The fact that you know what he's going to do and you can't stop him from doing it speaks volumes of his ability to smother you on the ground and just be relentless. So I really like him at the number 3 position. After that, I had originally gone with Henry Cejudo, but with more thought about that, in the number 4 position, I need to go with Amanda Nunes, the bantamweight and featherweight champion, the most dominant female we've ever seen. She has toppled the 2 greatest giants that the women's divisions have ever seen, and that's Ronda Rousey with an embarrassing knockout, and then following up with Chris Cyborg, and once again, just a dominating knockout.
On top of beating Valentina Shevchenko who is the other dominating female in women's martial arts.
Correct.
Mixed martial arts.
So she's beaten three champs.
3 champions.
And technically in 3 different divisions. She's only fought in the 2, but Valentina Shevchenko is now a champ in her own division. So she's toppled 3 champs. She's fought the best competition, and she's done it all with great humility. I think she's one of the best champs we've ever and might ever see in our lifetime. 18-4 record, and she does not get the respect she deserves.
No, not at all. No press.
No press at all. I mean, wasn't it a shame when she fights Ronda Rousey? She's the champ, but there isn't any coverage about her. All Ronda.
Even after beating her, I mean, there's still no hype up for her.
Yeah, it's
the way they treat her is disgusting.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Because I mean, she's even a little higher for me.
Yeah.
You know.
And which is fair.
Yeah.
So coming in at number 5, which I literally have made this adjustment as I'm telling you guys, I changed my mind, is Henry Cejudo. We cannot ignore the fact that he is the fly and bantamweight champion. We absolutely cannot ignore the fact that in order to become the flyweight champion, he defeated arguably the greatest champion the UFC has ever seen.
Yes.
And probably the greatest martial artist the world has ever seen. My only problem with this, and I've expressed my problem with this to you and others, is that something made me feel like Mighty Mouse did not want to win.
Yeah.
He saw the writing on the wall that he was going to leave the UFC, and I think instead of passing on the belt, he felt like someone needed to win it to be a real champ.
Now, I have Cejudo at the very same spot as you, number 5, right? Number 5?
Yep.
And, yeah, I think why other people are in front of him is, you know, like you said, Mighty Mouse. I mean, it was a split decision victory.
Yep.
And Mighty Mouse didn't seem the full Demetrius Johnson.
Correct.
And so, you know, we almost don't feel like he, you know, beat that.
He didn't beat Mighty Mouse.
Beat him.
He beat Demetrius Johnson. He didn't beat Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, and you know, these other fighters are dominant, have taken their titles dominantly and defended
Correct.
them dominantly. So
And he
there's
has
other
not.
people above him. Yeah.
And he has not defended either title yet.
I give him number 5 because he's captured 2 titles.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. But in his other title, the bantamweight, he didn't beat a champion. He beat a contender to secure the bantamweight
Yes.
belt in Marlon Moraes. You know what I mean? It's so
Yeah.
that's also brings him lower than some people. You know, it's hard for judging this top 15 pound for pound because of the different criteria.
Yeah.
You know, that you could pick from.
Exactly, and that's the thing here. This is absolutely a personal list that we're creating, and once we combined it, it will be a gym bag entertainment list based on our own personal feelings on how these fighters compete. So,
Henry
yeah.
Cejudo, number 5.
Henry Cejudo, number 5. Number 6, I struggled with this one, but I had to give it to Stipe Miocic. The most, in my opinion, the most dominant heavyweight we've ever seen as well. He has defended his belt multiple times against the greatest talents in the division. I don't think there's a fighter that is in the top 5 that he hasn't faced and beat. And then followed it up by beating one of the greatest fighters that the UFC has ever beheld in Daniel Cormier, winning back his title, overcoming great adversity.
And that's another great thing to point out, that with the criteria of these lists, you know, last month, that could be very, very different.
Very different.
You know?
We could have Daniel Cormier way higher in this list.
Absolutely. It's very situational. And this list could change, you know, by Christmas, a big...
I feel like this list could change within a month, or like every month this list can change.
Absolutely.
Because that's what's great about the UFC is fighters turn around. They hit a corner. I mean, like 2 years ago, I think maybe 2 years ago, would you even think Max Holloway would be on the top 15?
Right.
You know, he fought his way up the pound for pound fighters list. I mean, one of the fights I remember was him going up toe to toe with Conor McGregor and losing.
Yeah.
And I don't even have Conor McGregor on this list, and he's beat Max Holloway, the most dominant champ in the featherweight division. So a lot of things can change. But and Stipe Miocic is 19-3. Great record for a heavyweight guy. And then right after that, I had to go Daniel Cormier because Daniel Cormier only has 3 losses, all 3 of them to champions. And I mean, some could even argue the fact that his hubris lost him this fight. So, you know, there's always that chance that if he had won that fight, you know, I might even have him up at 2 or 3. So I don't know where we go with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's 22-2 and 1 no contest with the fight with Bones Jones. And then number 8, Robert Whittaker, middleweight champ.
Oh, yes.
He's the champ now, right? Yeah, he got his belt. Robert Whittaker, middleweight champ, 20-4. Robert Whittaker, I feel like, snuck his way into greatness. Like, I feel like you didn't see Robert Whittaker coming, and then he, like, started just dominating everybody.
I totally agree.
Overcame the battle against Yoel Romero for the belt, and he really showed us something in that fight. He's shown us a lot over the years. I can't wait to see him his next title defense. But he's just an incredible fighter.
I think he completely cleaned out the division. I mean, since then we got some great contenders who have come.
Correct.
You know.
And they're waiting.
I mean, he cleaned it out to get the title.
So yeah, because he's one of those fighters who didn't just get a good fight and then get a title defense.
Right.
He had to fight to get that title.
In almost every fight was a grind all the way up to the title.
Yeah. I think to me, the moment I knew Robert Whittaker was great was when he beat Jacare Souza.
Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
What? Like in my mind, Jacare was the next champ.
Yeah.
And
Jacare came out so dominant, absolutely.
And he put work on Jacare, and that impressed me.
He's a workman type fighter, you know, and all of his fights, like I said, though, are pretty hard, you know.
Yeah.
He's got to face adversity, and I think that's the only reason that puts him lower than certain people, you know, who are more dominant.
All right, in number 9, once again, right here in the moment, I have to flip it, and I realized in my head, I know why I'm flipping it, is Valentina Shevchenko, flyweight champ, 16-3. Valentina Shevchenko, in every fight she's in, she puts on a clinic. I mean, to get the title, she beats Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who in the women's division has arguably, even if not the best, the second best hands in the game. She's an excellent fighter, and Shevchenko put her to work. The only person to really beat Amanda Nunes the only person to beat Valentina Shevchenko in the UFC was Amanda Nunes.
Decision. And
it was a decision victory, and some say that it could have gone either way.
And clearly overmatched in size and in strength.
Correct.
Against Amanda Nunes.
But was smart enough not to allow herself to get into a striking match with her.
Fought a great fight.
Yeah, she's a very intelligent fighter, very dominant fighter, very humble fighter, and I believe in her division, it's going to be her all day. I feel like there's nobody in that division that can steal that belt.
I agree. I think the only thing that pushes her down is her lack of competition in her division.
Correct.
You know?
And a little bit of lack of
defenses already.
I think in some ways it's like a lack of excitement around Valentina Shevchenko. Like I feel like the most exciting victory she had was against a fighter that wasn't that important when she got the head kick knockout.
Right.
Like, it wasn't really a fighter anybody cared about.
Yeah.
And it was like.
And Jessica Ai is still ranked very high.
Yeah.
You know, there's just nobody for her to fight in that division, I think. But yeah, she's incredible.
Yep. And then after that, at number 10, I think some people, if you're surprised at number 10, I think you're just not paying attention. And that's Thug Rose Namajunas, the former strawweight champ, who I think would have been on this list had she not made a single error in judgment and got knocked out by, I don't care how anybody feels about me saying this, a lucky slam.
It was.
You know, Jessica Andrade.
In a poor decision. It was a mistake
Yeah.
on Rose's behalf.
Jessica Andrade won that belt.
Yeah.
She won that belt. It's just like catching somebody with a knockout. She happened to catch her with a slam. I don't take away that belt from her because she got the belt.
Right.
But Thug Rose played it smarter and had done what she was supposed to do. She was absolutely putting on a clinic and dominating Jessica Andrade. So I almost think it's a slap in the face.
She allowed herself to be slammed.
Yep.
You know, thinking that she'd be all right.
Yeah, exactly, and she just happened to be wrong at that moment. But to put Jessica Andrade on this list and not to put Thug Rose, I think that's a slap in the face to Thug Rose. She beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the woman who could not be beat, dominated the strawweight division more than almost any other division has ever been dominated. And she came in, one, put her to sleep, two, came back in and beat her in 5 rounds. Like Thug Rose, she has to be on this list.
Yeah. Andrade doesn't make my list.
She doesn't make my list either. You don't lose a fight and then win it, but then turn it around and win it.
She's the only title holder that doesn't.
Yeah.
You know.
I believe that's the same for me.
Yeah.
And then.
Because that's not, the only criteria, but...
Because what happens if she loses this next fight?
Right, holding a title does put you up higher. Yeah. To a relatively unknown fighter as well.
And to be honest with you, I think I got maybe 3 or 4 fighters I'd put Andrade in the top 20. And she might hit 20.
Yeah.
Because she is great.
Pound overall, yeah. I would.
The fight against Claudia Gadelha,
Yeah, she's had great finishes in the UFC. I mean,
and she put on a war against Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
She is no slouch, but she's not a top 15. At number 11, I had to put Kamaru Usman, welterweight champ, 15-1. The only reason why he's not higher up on this list is just because he hasn't defended the belt. He beat the likes of Tyron Woodley, who I believe by the time he fought Wonder Boy, I thought he was a fake champ.
I think Tyron Woodley had a little resurgence after the Damian Maia lackluster victory, where people got mad at him and stuff. And he tried to be more active, more of a fan favorite, But Usman's got to be on there, but. Because of how he marched through the division.
Yeah, and that's what he did. He marched through the division. He's so dominant, but I got to see some title defenses.
And I believe that he kind of, got a lucky march in the division a little bit, so I think that's why I put him low, too. I put him low as well.
Yeah. After that, I had to go with your boy, Tony Ferguson. Lightweight division, 26-3. There's an argument to make that he would be the champ right now, had it not been for injuries. This dude overcomes adversity all the time, an excellent fighter, and I can't wait for his opportunity. I know that he's next in line after this Poirier-Khabib fight.
Absolutely. I can't see who else could be.
Yeah, no. And then number 13, Israel Adesanya, middleweight division, a 17-0 record. So he has to be on this list. 17-0, and as dominant as he is, he beats Kevin Gastelum. Even though it was a relatively washed up version of Anderson Silva, Anderson Silva was the closest style to his. The style bender put on an excellent job, and he stopped Kevin Gastelum. That's extremely impressive to me, and he's also on his way to a title.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then
interim title holder currently after the fight.
Because Whitaker was out, so he is actually
he is the next one.
He is the next one to fight Whitaker to connect the titles. I forgot about that.
I'm not sure what month it is, but that's coming up.
Yeah,
and I'm excited.
So Israel Adesanya is interim middleweight champ. And then number 14, I think that this is my own personal feelings. I think that not everybody would put her on this list, but I felt like, just because she has 3 losses in a row, I still think she deserves it. Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Former strawweight champ, the most dominant strawweight champ that there's ever been. She literally took the title from the very first champ on her very first title defense and then dragged the division through the mud until Thug Rose had developed her skill to a level that nobody saw coming to take the belt from her and then defend it against her as well. But Joanna Jędrzejczyk is an incredible fighter.
She still makes my list even after the losses.
So, okay then, I'm glad to hear that. 15-3, and those 3 are literally the at this final point of her career. I can't wait to see her fight again. I think she's gonna.
In half of some of my criteria, like I was saying, from my list, is how dangerous I think they're gonna be in their next fight. You know what I mean? Because you're only as good pound for pound as your last fight.
Yeah.
You know, so right now, coming off 3 losses, but also I'm taking into account, you know, for people's standings, how much of a chance they have to win their next fight.
And I think we're gonna hear the news soon. If Jessica Andrade wins this fight, Joanna's gonna want to go after she's gonna want first shot at the belt. And if Thug Rose isn't ready, Joanna gets the chance. She wins the belt back and has to face Thug Rose one more time.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
That'll be an incredible fight.
Yep. And number 15, I believe, changes right after the pay-per-view. I think this man gets knocked off the list. I think it goes either one or two ways. Either he maintains his position, or I'd let him jump up. He's either going to jump up if he wins, or he's going to get knocked off the list if he loses. But because he's the champ, Dustin Poirier has to make the list. The lightweight champ, interim champ, 25-5 with 1 no contest. I mean, I give him a lot of credit for the way he dominated Max Holloway.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit for that. I give him a lot of credit the fact that he's gone through 3 or 4 champs.
Right.
And I give him a lot of credit that, you know, he has developed himself, figured out where he was weak, jumped up a division, and has done what he needed to do.
I think that's the biggest thing for me too, and I got him higher because like I said, I kind of believe in him against Khabib.
I think because of his ability to box, that's going to give him, and he does have a ground game.
Yeah, and it's the length of his boxing.
Yeah.
You know, like that might be.
He got real power.
He's figured it out. His range. You know, he takes shots, but he
can take a shot.
If he can take the punches but stay up, then it could be a bad night for Khabib. You know, we haven't seen him tested on the feet. Conor really couldn't. It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
You know, but.
So there's my 15. Tell me what you got.
You know, you can't argue with anybody's picks, honestly.
No.
It's completely opinionated. But I got John Jones as number 1 as well. Can't argue with his domination over the years. No one's beat him.
Yeah.
You know, no one's beat him.
Period.
You can't beat him. He has every UFC record. You know, most fights, most wins, most everything.
Yeah.
You know? So there's no conversation. You could talk about his personal life or whatever, but we're talking
about the octagon.
About the octagon. So.
Damn right.
And number 2 for me might be surprising for people. I have Amanda Nunes in number 2.
Yes.
Because of her domination of both weight classes, and because of, like I said, going forward, who's going to beat her? Nobody. She's going to reign over both weight classes. Out of any person who's held a double belt, she has defended both of the titles that she holds.
Yep.
Which is
against excellent fighters.
And nobody makes a big deal out of it, but you know, she is the champion. She is the undisputed.
Well, we've discussed it. You're not a real champ until you defend the belt.
Right. So there is no higher champion than Amanda Nunes as far as holding titles, and there's no woman that can beat her. And that's what gives her number 2 for me.
I feel you.
Max Holloway, number 3. You know, you weren't wrong. The way he's dominated his division like none other. I mean, no featherweight can touch him. The fight against Dustin Poirier, you know, moving up, being completely undersized and still doing that well, you know, says a lot about him. But I then coming back and fighting Frankie Edgar after the loss, though, and handling the way he did, and looking like a true professional.
Yeah.
You know,
not allowing a loss.
His IQ was so good, and he put it on him. You know, but some people thought it was boring, but I didn't think it. I thought it was a master class of striking, personally, and that's what gives Max Holloway number 3. Now number 4, I did some switching around while we.
Yeah, of course.
I put Khabib at number 4.
Yep. Yep.
You know, it is hard to look at the people that he's beaten and be too impressed. You know,
Yeah.
the McGregor win is big. It's huge. You know, because it was dominating. Winning the title from Al Iaquinta, you know, is not that big.
Not that big.
But I feel with looking at his ability to win the next fight or match up with any lightweight, I mean, he's so dominating. So definitely number 4 for me. Because I don't know. I think Poirier has a chance, like I was just outlining. You know, if he uses that range and he can catch him with some shots on the power. And I hope he's been training takedown defense since he's won that
Well, I think he might be stronger on the ground than anybody Khabib has faced.
That could be true.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's had a lot of time to prepare for just Khabib. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting fight. But yeah, Khabib at number 4. I got Cejudo number 5, like we had said.
Yes.
You know, 2-weight champ. But like I said, it's not even half as impressive as Amanda Nunes being a 2-weight champ.
Yeah, not even close.
You know, or even when DC was 2-weight champ, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, you know, you beat Mighty Mouse, like we said, or Demetrius Johnson, rather.
Correct.
Not Mighty Mouse. But and then you beat Marlon Moraes, definitely the number 1 contender in bantamweight. But you know, you haven't defended either. We'll see what happens there. That could change. Cejudo could fall real quick.
Yep.
On this list, I think. Coming in at 6, I got DC. Still one of my favorites.
Ooh, you put.
Still super dangerous.
Yes.
Because he's lost to 2 men. In not in the UFC, but in his mixed martial arts career.
Yeah.
And the first guy is John Jones.
Correct.
You know, he couldn't beat him.
No.
He tried everything he had.
Threw everything at him.
You know, came closer than anybody. Just couldn't make it happen.
Exactly.
You know, but Stipe and the other guy that he's lost to, he holds a vicious knockout over.
Correct.
So.
And like I said, he allowed his hubris to get him beat.
I totally agree. You know, if you want to see that coverage, look that episode up, because he's, like I said, with the hand checking and the silly standing there right in Stipe's range. And yeah, no wrestling. But DC's still, you know, so dangerous. I think they could run that fight back anytime they want. If they want to immediately rematch and make a rubber match out of Daniel Cormier and Stipe, I think that's a big money maker too, honestly.
I think it's going to need a little time to get developed, maybe like 6 months or so, but I think they have to have a 3.
Yeah.
You can't have 1 and 1 and not do a 3.
I totally agree, especially you know, one guy stops one guy and then the other, and then it goes the other way. Yeah. But yeah, DC at number 6. But then I put Stipe right after him.
Yeah. So we're just flip flopped.
So Stipe at 7. You know, beating Cormier to get his title back, and he was never out of it, even though he was getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the way he defended the belt the first time, you know, against everybody in the heavyweight division. Nobody besides DC really got a chance, it seems.
Yeah.
You know, like, we got some heavyweights brewing and coming up.
Yep.
But Stipe is masterclass heavyweight. Big, powerful, fast.
And I feel like he's another guy who came out of nowhere. Like, what? Like, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie.
A workman fighter like Whitaker.
When he knocked out Fabricio Verdum, I thought it was a fluke.
Yeah, you know, he's not flashy. These guys fly under the radar.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they're holding a belt around their waist.
And but he held onto it against. I mean, I think the biggest test to me was when he beat Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
And took what he had and confused him.
Yeah.
You know, turned him into a better fighter, Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, you did.
You might have to see him again.
I think that's a definite rematch.
You know? But yeah, that puts Stipe at number 7 for me. Now this one, non-title holder.
Okay.
Tony Ferguson is at number 8 for me.
Wow.
And,
wow.
And I'll break it down.
Yeah.
About El Cucuy and why.
El Cucuy.
Because it's completely situational why he is not holding a belt around his waist.
Yes.
The one-time interim champ, but didn't even get a chance to unify due to injuries. And
Partly not his own. The first time was because Khabib was injured.
injuries to Khabib, injuries to himself
Yep.
after Khabib becomes healthy. That strips him of the interim belt.
Yeah.
You know, Khabib stripped of his belt. Now Poirier holds it. I mean, it's crazy. Why? I don't think he's a favorite of Dana White's, and I think
Correct.
that's what puts him in the positions that he's in. Like, he eventually has to give him fights
Yeah.
because he beats everybody.
But he's so exciting to
And he
watch.
beats everybody.
Yeah.
He's another workman fighter, not flashy, but figures it out in weird ways what he's got to do.
Very unorthodox.
He's got to get hurt to understand what he's got to do to you to win, you know?
Yep.
And you can't finish him.
No.
And nobody's beat him. 12-fight win streak in the UFC. How does he not have the belt around his waist?
I can't explain
I don't
it.
know how we're even talking about Dustin Poirier versus Khabib. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it is crazy.
I don't even know why in his last fight he had to fight Donald Cerrone. Not saying Donald wasn't doing a great job at
Yeah.
lightweight. You know, he definitely deserved a shot at Tony Ferguson, but I believe that Tony deserved that fight against Poirier for the interim title.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
And I think he would have won it.
I think he'd beat Dustin Poirier,
And
hands
I think
down.
he'll beat Khabib as well.
Ooh, I think I can't. I don't know if I can disagree with you on that
You
one.
know,
I don't know if I
He
can.
finds a way.
Yeah.
He always finds a way.
He's an excellent
And,
fighter.
he's so dangerous against anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's a lot of people, especially at 155 or 145, that I actually look at like, I wouldn't mind fighting that dude in real life. I don't want to fight Tony Ferguson.
Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
I believe it.
He's kind of scary. Man.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know what you're gonna get.
I would fight Conor McGregor if he was. I'm telling you, I don't care. Like, I don't really care what would happen. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would fight Dustin Poirier. Khabib's a little scary with
Yeah,
the ground game,
man.
especially because I've been dominated by wrestlers before,
Uh-huh.
and I don't like that. But
Yeah, no one wants to be dominated by a
I
wrestler.
wouldn't want to fight Tony Ferguson at all, man. He's a scary dude.
Damn.
Like, and if he held the belt, he would be top 5 for me. Like.
I don't think. I think for me, he'd be top 5, top 6. But I
Maybe
agree.
If he had got the fight against Poirier and he was currently holding the interim belt, he might be at number 5 for me right now.
Oh wow.
How dangerous I think Tony Ferguson is.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, number 8 for Tony Ferguson. Now, this is where things got a little muddy for me, and I flipped them around, because thinking about this criteria, that criteria.
Yeah.
But number 9, I got to give to Robert Whittaker.
Absolutely.
Current middleweight champ. You know, what didn't we say about him?
Exactly.
He's incredible. Workman fighter. Big fight coming up with Israel. Can't wait for that. I mean, that's going to decide things. I think Israel got a real strong chance.
Oh, I think
But,
Israel takes it.
I think Robert got,
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be a great
I
fight.
think Israel, as far as chances go, I kind of look at it like 55% chance to
Yes.
Israel to Robert's 45. But 45 we get.
And Whittaker has been gone a while.
And he could be back nice and healthy.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think he'll come back with any kind of rust or anything.
Yeah, no.
I think
He's a true
We
fighter.
could see him come back better than he's been in a while because of all them plaguing injuries that he had to deal with. You know, he's had a bunch of surgeries and he's ready to go. So, yeah, that puts Whittaker at 9 for me. At number 10, I got Valentina Shevchenko.
Gotta.
You know, what didn't I say about her? Again, domination. You know, if there was more contenders at her weight, she'd be higher for me.
True.
You know, yeah, I would have put her, much higher. And
It is what it is.
how do you sort all these people when there's so many? But yeah, that puts her there at 10. 11, I gave to Poirier because of, not only his adversity that he's faced going through different weight classes. We've seen him stopped by Conor McGregor.
Yep. Straight stopped, hard.
Stopped pretty good. And but he really found his home with the lightweight division. you know,
And just ran through it.
and he's beating, you know, the top of the top competition, and he's getting better every time. I think he's got a real chance against Khabib, and that would cement him, you know, as a real champion to me. And I think he deserves it too. He's worked real hard. I like him. That puts him at a 11 for me. It's hard, you know, I don't to not think it's a popularity contest, because then I look at these women and you know, I wanted to have them way up. You know, like Doug Rose, Joanna that you're talking about and stuff. Like, I wanted to have them way up at top, but like, Joanna with the 3 losses got to go down low. So Doug Rose got to go in at number 12, I think, and I put Kamaru Usman at number 3. And
13, yeah.
Yeah, 12 and 13. Yeah, Doug Rose number 12 for beating, you know, Joanna.
Yes, twice.
Right. Besides that, you know, she beat everybody else in the division.
Yeah.
Not like that's, you know, saying a huge lot, you know, but dominantly. You know what I mean? Submission
The
victories.
karate hottie who was at that time running through the division.
Kicking her in the head and then choking her out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great.
Amazing.
And, you know, beats Joanna with the big KO first round.
Yo, and people don't realize
Seen
this,
that coming.
but Joanna tapped. If you watch her hand from striking, she actually tapped.
She was done.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to get hit anymore.
Yep.
She might not even remember
Tapping.
at one bit. But then we have Kamaru Usman coming in.
No.
At
Doug
13.
Rose. Yeah, then Doug Rose at...
Doug Rose at 12. Kamaru Usman at 13.
Yeah.
I put Kamaru way down there because, I don't know, man. I just haven't seen really what he could do.
Yeah, it's not
You know,
enough.
Like, it's good victory against Tyron Woodley, but
It's not enough.
it's his belt that got him on the list for me. You know.
Amen.
'Cause look, Doug Rose is ahead of him and not even holding a belt
Yep,
currently. You know, because she beat one of the best champions ever.
exactly.
You know, I put Israel Adesanya in at 14 because of his march up the middleweight division. This could be, you know, he could be way up.
Way up if he wins.
At least take Whitaker's place, which I put at 9. You know?
Yeah.
So that puts him there, holder of the interim title. And I put Joanna at 15 because even with the 3 losses, man, she's still, you know, one of the most dominant champions overall.
That we've ever seen.
Man or woman. I mean, just destroying people, and she's a masterful fighter
Yeah.
and exciting to watch.
I think that it says a lot. I mean, we made this list separately. We eliminated the same 3 people.
Yeah.
And we added the same 3 people to the list.
Just different.
Just different orders.
Just a little
Like we had like the exact same top 7. Our top set, not in the same exact order, but our top 7 was identical.
Right.
Slight different
I threw
positionings.
the wrench with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, you did.
At number 8.
At number 8 is where you threw the wrench at me. But I think that it speaks a lot that I think we have the more accurate list. Because to eliminate the same exact 3 people and add the same exact 3 people without a conversation between each other about it, I think that makes it right.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is we got 5 minutes. Let's try to combine our lists.
Okay.
So number 1.
We gotta have some nice compromise here.
Let's argue about number 1 for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we got John Jones at number 1, right? And I think between 1 and 2 we have Max Holloway and Amanda Nunes. I personally think Max Holloway 2, Amanda Nunes 3. What do you think?
I don't know that I can agree with the accomplishments because of Nunes coming up and taking the other belt, whereas Max couldn't.
Okay, I'm gonna concede this one because there's one I want to definitely
And I think
make
that,
you concede on.
I think that separates that. You know?
So we got Amanda at number 2.
I appreciate that.
No problem. I know how you feel about this, and I know how we both feel about the lack of respect that she's gotten in the division. So I feel you.
And then Max number 3.
Max Holloway, number 3. All right. So boom, boom, boom. And who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Khabib.
I agree.
Yeah. I originally had him at 6.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad.
Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Henry Cejudo.
And
We both had him.
and we have that.
I think that's
Well, I had him at 3, but no, I had him at 5. I changed it.
Now my 6 was DC, but
And mine is Stipe.
yeah, we had those vice versa.
Yeah, we had those vice versa, literally vice versa. I think we need to skip this,
Yeah.
and I think we need to talk about that one afterwards. I like your reasoning for putting Tony Ferguson so high up, but I would like to put him under Robert Whittaker, and that would be my.
I can agree with that because of the title and because of the amount of fights and.
Because they both have a lot of fights,
Yeah.
and they both have earned their
It's
position.
tough, but Whittaker holds the title.
And I think Whittaker holds a title in a more difficult division.
I think so.
So Robert Whittaker 8,
Yeah,
Tony Ferguson 9.
absolutely.
All right.
I'm not mad at that.
No. All right.
Especially they had 8 and 9. UFC got Dustin Poirier and Kamaru Usman.
Correct.
That is incorrect.
Incorrect. Completely. Who's your number 10?
My number 10 is Valentina Shevchenko.
And my number 10 is Valentina Shevchenko.
Very nice.
And who do you have at number 11?
I think we disagreed here. 'Cause
Yes.
you put him far. I had Dustin Poirier here.
Oh, yeah.
Who did you have?
I have Kamaru Usman.
You know, I can't argue too much about Usman moving up because I think they're kind of both sitting there for me. Like Usman has the actual undisputed title
Yeah.
against Poirier's interim title.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So what about 11 and 12? Usman 11, Poirier 12.
well, I'd like Thug Rose maybe.
Oh.
Nah, Poirier above that. Yeah, I
Okay.
like that. I like
Okay.
that because I originally had Poirier above him because he's currently holding the interim belt. Yeah, go ahead. I like that.
All right, Kamaru Usman, Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, when you factor in that he holds the undisputed compared to the interim,
Correct. All right, who do you have at 13?
that would be Thug Rose for me.
Thug Rose. And I have Thug Rose up higher, but we've already covered that spot, so let's go with Rose.
Yeah, only the one bad loss, but held the undisputed title and took it from the most dominant female champion.
And I will agree. I had him at 13, but you have him at 14, and that is Israel Adesanya.
It's got to go somewhere on the list for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how he's not.
I feel like he could be higher if he's faced off against some of the higher middleweight opposition. He's beat the likes of like Anderson Silva and Kelvin Gastelum, but what about the likes of maybe Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa? You know what I mean? That would be a pretty stiff challenge, but he's on his way to Whittaker already.
So
I think if he had cleaned out the middleweight division more,
he'd be on the list.
he'd be above, Poirier for me for sure.
All right, we have 1 minute to figure out this situation. Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic, both have 3 losses on their record, but Daniel Cormier has 22. And Daniel Cormier, this is why I'm gonna lean towards you, is that Daniel Cormier could have won that fight had he not let his hubris beat him.
And let me try to sway you with this.
Okay.
Stipe, is a 2-time heavyweight champion, but DC was a 2-weight champion.
And
He was at the same time, too. He went from the light heavyweight right to heavyweight, and then he had to relinquish,
the light heavyweight.
and he also defended the heavyweight championship in between fighting Stipe again.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, right? Did he not?
I don't think he ever defended the light.
No?
No.
No, the heavyweight, I'm saying.
Yes.
Fight Derek Lewis?
Derek. Yeah. Wait. Was it?
That before he fought Stipe the first time?
No, I think he went straight to title fight. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he fought Stipe and then defended against Derek Lewis.
Against Derek Lewis.
One with the rear naked choke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
I think that gives it, because they're both defending heavyweight champions, But
All right, with the last few seconds, we're going to go over our list. Number 1, John Jones. Number 2, Amanda Nunes. Number 3, Max Blessed Holloway. Number 4, Khabib. I don't like saying his name. Yes. Number 5, Henry Cejudo. Number 6, Daniel Cormier. Number 7, Stipe Miocic. Number 8, Robert Whittaker. Number 9, Tony Ferguson. Number 10, Valentina Shevchenko. Number 11, Kamaru Usman. Number 12, Dustin Poirier. Number 13, Thug Rose Namajunas. Number 14, Israel Adesanya. And number 15, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
And you can cry about it if you want. That's as accurate as it gets.
Exactly. And we will post this list online so that you guys can comment and debate, but let us let you know that you are wrong.
Right.
Boom. So with that being said, check out our YouTube channel, Gym Bag Entertainment. And until then, we'll see you in the octagon. Have a good night.
Peace.